While you get inside the arena, are you kill with the fire? Are we get you require?
Was like some burger!
It's on Ruby Vega, Super Nexus, Sega. Get them on the mastermind, Alexa. Guile, so the get down with it, we don't mind. It's wicked as one of a kind. Move to the beach.
Okay. It's probably the worst time for me to make this video because my mic, my headset is broke, so I probably sound weird. But I wanted to make it. And before we get into this subject, cheaters, we're going to cover every game. There's a reason for this. But I want to make clear, I'm not doing this for clicks and views. I genuinely do not care. I'm not trying to take part. I don't think I'm a bigger, like, I don't even call myself a YouTuber, but I don't think I'm something bigger than what I am, or you know, or nothing like that. I'm under no illusion that I'm the best player in the world. But I'm just making this video over a situation that happened on this game. And with this, you know, I've been through this many times. We have to keep. This is the last time I'm doing this, right? This is the last time we're going to be talking about cheaters, right? Because I'm tired of like educating these people. You know, they take part in gaming and they just don't, you know, they don't know any. They don't even take the time to look up before they speak about something, you know, and they're like. You know, anything you say about a cheater, they're like, oh, tinfoil hat time, here we go. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, shut the fuck up, man. Like, go and learn something. Like, so honestly, how are you playing any game in 2025 in the middle of a cheating epidemic, right? And thinking that people don't cheat on any game. People are under the illusion that this game is some type of exception. You see me every game I go to, we have to have this conversation. All different games, all different reasons why. You know, it can be as far as just you know, people playing in the wrong ranks, smurfing. You know, I always have to point it out. I always have to call it out because it is cheating. Like, anything I say, there's a reason for it. I'm like a student of the game at this point. Do you know what I mean? Believe me. You know, people like to make out I play games all day. You know, these fucking idiots that get personal over games. They like to make out I play games all day. Back in the day, I did. Now I don't take part because of all the scummy shit that happened. I can't tolerate it because of the way people play games. You know, people are just going scummy for the win, and the reason for this is money. People only give a fuck about views. People only care about extracting money any way they can from gaming. You know, most people don't actually give a shit about gaming. You know, even the people that have made big money from it, they don't care. All they care about is getting money out of it. Um, yeah, and when I said about these people, maybe I'll do a video, you know, the full reason why. But these people got funny with me. They started bringing up my personal life over me saying, right? All I said was this guy tried to kill me, and he was scripting. That's all I said, right? He was scripting. He tried to kill me, and he didn't. And I put like LOL, right? And these people like came back the next day after their little routine they were following, you know, and you know, they thought they were armed with all this information about my personal life to embarrass me. But the funniest part of it was pretty much the people they got the information from only had information that I told them because they don't fucking know me. They don't know nothing about me. And let me tell you for free, you will never embarrass me. I promise you. I am a genuine guy. When I say it, I mean it. You know, anything that people need to know about my life, I'll happily tell them. You don't need to go and try and sneak information. Believe me, I'll put it on display. But we'll do that in a different video. This one is about cheaters, right? So this video don't last forever. Now, full tinfoil hat time. People do not cheat on games. That's got to be the funniest statement I've ever heard out of someone's mouth, especially, you know, in 2025. Again, the reason why is money and views. So let's show you, right? On ESO, I called someone out for scripting. The reason why I did this, let's make sure I'm on the right bit, because I've got this sort of laid out. 1 second, here we go. Right, and we'll turn, yeah, we've turned that off already. Okay, here we are. Right, Same old story every time. We do the same thing every time, right? The most popular cheating device on the planet, right? That's why we always come back to it. That's why we always have this conversation. I'm bored of doing this. Um, I had to go through this. Well, I remember when I played Xbox on ESO, and I called people out for using mouse and keyboard, and they were like, "Huh, ESO ain't got the background for mouse and keyboard," and I just went and searched it. I can't even remember what it's called, but I went and searched up and I found the app they were using to use mouse and keyboard on Xbox, right? To gain a free advantage, because that's all people care about in this day. They don't give a fuck. They just want to look good. Like, do you know what I mean? With this one, it's different, and this is what I call scripting, right? And now most people will buy this device, and use it in PvE, no problem with that. When you get these people, when you look on forums and stuff, I'm using the exact same gear, traits, everything, as this guy, but he's getting 10 times my my DPS on this dummy while he's passing. I wonder why. It's because he's getting a perfect rotation from using something like this. Are some people that good? Yes. Again, I'm under no illusion that good players exist on ESO, especially like I say, I've played across 3 servers. And like I say, I've been a student of gaming for quite some time. I like to think I know what I'm talking about. And are players that good, especially in PvP? Yes, they are. There's plenty of players that have slapped me down, and I've been like, damn, that guy is a beast. Like, do you know what I mean? He's got a better build than me, and he's just a better player than me. Like, again, I'm under no illusion that I'm some sort of, god. That is not the case. You might see me being a dick on my videos, but that is not the case. If you ever see me saying something like that, I am joking. Just, some people don't seem to understand this. Um, I am at this point pretty much a gaming dad. I probably game for like 2, 3 hours in a session again because I can't stand shit like this. I just can't stand it. Some people are blind to it. Some people make out that they're blind to it because they do it themselves. And usually when people get funny with me, for calling shit like this out, it's because they do it. Now, there was a guy there was a guy that did a video on this. Well, let's say it like this. Let's say it like this, right? Let's get it all out there. What this does is, right, in its basic form on ESO, it allows you to have a perfect rotation, right? We're just talking about ESO. We're going to get into every game on the planet after this, right? But on ESO especially, what this does is let you have, automatic light animation cancel. You don't have to push extra buttons, which in my opinion that's cheating. And how people defend this usually is, oh, there's a global cooldown on this game, so this isn't cheat. That is cheat. That's cheating. Global cooldown or not, the second that global cooldown is finished, the light animation cancel is done for you. Other people, I haven't got that. I have to push buttons to do that. So you are gaining a free advantage, which in gaming is classed as cheating, right? This thing is like a better form of macro. There's many different uses for this. Before this was something that was frowned upon, and the educational videos on how to set this up got deleted. A good few, a vast majority of them. I watched one of a guy using this in the battlegrounds, and what he did was he he was recording himself like with an actual camera, you know what I mean? Recording himself playing the game. He was in a BG and he just lifted his right hand off his controller, right? And he walked forward into the enemies. They damaged him. When his health dropped below 20%, that auto healed him, right? That's you know what I mean? You can do a lot of things with this, right? That's not just the basic form. So just wanted to get make that clear, right? Now also, back in the day, uh, I looked this all up, and you can share these scripts, right? Someone can make a script and share it, so they can just do a full fucking full rotation of their skills, perfect, and then share that to their friend. And I actually got evidence of this on Xbox. I got two people's gameplay and put it next to each other, and it looked, I could have masked it over top of each other, and it was exact. Right, I haven't got that anymore because Xbox deleted all the clips, well, most of them. Um, But yeah, I knew it back then, and I thought that was funny because I used to fuck with these people all the time. I used to go on their achievements of the game, and they've not got one achievement in PvE, but somehow they're able to consistently do a perfect rotation in PvP, and that was my favorite one to catch them out. I always thought that was fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? You've spent no time, like pretty much basically learning the game. You've just come into PvP and you're a god. No, that's not how it works. And are people that good? Yes, they are. Some people really are that good. I'll even tell you now, 10 years. What is it, the 10-year anniversary on ESO? After 10 years, there's probably only 5 or 10% of the population on ESO that can legitimately run a Zerg of 40 players round in a circle while consistently hitting a perfect rotation, perfect light animation cancel on every single skill they use on both bars. There is probably 5-10% of players on every server on ESO that are that good. And when I used to call people out on Xbox that were suddenly gods overnight, because I was playing against these people for quite some time, like years, and then suddenly just overnight they were a god. When I used to call these people out, remember, keep in mind, back then I did play games all day, not now, but back then I did. Um, they would do this for 10 hours. 10 hours. And I always used to message him. I always used to fuck with him and be like, so send me a video or a picture of your fingers and thumbs. They must be bruised and blistered. Do you know what I mean? For you to do that consistently. Remember, we're not talking now, and I'm talking consistent non-stop for hours, running around in circles, hitting perfect rotations. A lot of people aren't that good. I'll tell you for free. A lot of people are not that good, and some of them just openly admitted it. They just said, I do use it, but it's not cheating. It is cheating. It is cheating. You are giving yourself an unfair advantage against other people. So there was a guy that done an in-depth video about this, a full out, in detail. He was one of them guys that brought up all the statistics in that. There was 2 or 3 people, known people. I just can't remember who the specific one I'm talking about is for you to tell you to go and watch it, kind of thing. But he done an in-depth video, right? With all the sales statistics, everything on this device. And he said back then he worked out that 1 in 5 gamers on every game you play would have had this, and that was 2-3 years ago. And you can see yourself, it says in the bottom of my screen, 2025 today, right? Sold out. Today are still sold out, right? Now, people who are disabled and they use this, I've got no problem. No problem at all. I saw some guy playing games with his mouth, because obviously something happened. He might have been from the army or something, but he lost his arms, right? So he was playing with his mouth. Huge respect, no problem. Using this, perfect. No issue with that. That is a man I respect. He's continuing to do what he loves, gaming. He's still able to do it with something like this. That's great, right? But the people who are just genuinely disabled in their brain and they can't, uh, control recoils on guns, or they need 10 times aim assist, just in general, to get a kill, that's bullshit. That's why things like this, like, that you should have had to prove something to buy something like this. Do you know what I mean? To prove that you've got a disability. These shouldn't have just been something you can buy, in my opinion, because this has killed games that I love. For me, FPS games I wouldn't even play. I wouldn't even touch certain games. And sometimes I'll say to my friends like, "Yo, do you want to do some multiplayer?" And they're like, "Nah, fuck that." Like, do you know what I mean? They wouldn't even entertain a multiplayer in this day and age. They'd rather just chill out on games that isn't multiplayer because they just can't be bothered to see this on the kill cams when they die. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking boring. Because everyone is doing it, and almost everyone is doing this on FPS games. Like, because of views and shit, everyone's trying to get that clip. That makes them the next whoever the biggest person is now. I didn't even know. Now. And something else to keep in your mind, right? This is just one. Or make that clear. This is just one version of something like this, right? There are multiple, believe me. I was on social media the other day. I can't even remember what one like app it was or whatever. Just one of the social media apps. And I was scrolling through, and there was like a little store that came up. And when I clicked on that little store, there was like fucking 20 of these little devices that you can use to cheat on games. That's out of control now. That's out of control. Like it's literally like because views print money, and people know this. Shit like this is just common. I mean, this shit was so popular. People were turning up to LAN tourneys, where they play for fucking, hundreds of thousands, millions. People were turning up to LAN tourneys with this in their hand, just ready to cheat. Like, I mean, they had to ban it because that just become, you know what I mean? That just become, socially accepted to cheat on games, like in every way. And here you go, Mr. Tinfoiled Hat time. This I never say that to me ever again. Look, go and learn something before you say it. Look at this, Apex Beam 2.0, PS5 PC. Look, COD, Halo, Overwatch, Rainbow Six Siege, Rust, you name it, it's there, right? And some of these here, some of these really fucking piss me off because this is, like I say, I had to stop playing some of these games because I don't want, I would never use something like this. I don't see the point in playing a game if you're doing this because you're not playing, are you? Like at that point, this is as bad as aimbotting and shit to me personally. Here you go though, look, Destiny 2. That enrages me that says Destiny 2, right? That really fucking annoys me because that ruined that game for me. And here, this is the big one for me. It's really fucking pissed me off. When the saw was a drop weapon and there weren't no attachments on it and shit like that. Do you know what I mean? Back in the day on PUBG, this is what made me stop playing because people were picking up that saw and just absolutely fucking lasering people across the map with no recoil. Literally the first second I watched a clip of someone doing that, I deleted the game. I haven't played it since. One of my favorite games, mate. I literally immediately deleted the game and never played it again. Here you go. What scripts don't exist? Why would someone need zero recoil and boosted aim assist on Mortal Kombat? It's weird, isn't it? Why would someone need zero recoil and boosted aim assist on Street Fighter? Weird, isn't it? Scripts don't exist, though. Oh my! I can't believe. Wait. Someone contact. We need this. Someone get this. Get this hot on the press for the newspapers. Someone contact the news teams. We need this on the news. This is. I can't believe. No way. This doesn't say the Elder Scrolls Online. Oh my God. I can't. What? I'm mind blown. Or is this just information people knew? Like, just please stop talking about things you didn't know what you're talking about. People don't cheat on games, right? Look, I literally typed in cheats. Look, boom, cheats ready, available to just be downloaded immediately. Game hacks, cheats, you name it, it's there, right? Immediately. Wow. Wow ranked. Cheater fucking epidemic. Look, people saying cheat 100%. Like everyone's cheating. Look, cheating is getting out of control. And here, look, where was it? The rank one cheater. I can't find the other one now. I looked a minute ago. I can't find it now. But there was one that was saying this guy was scripting. Yeah, the number one player on ranked on WoW was just scripting. The thing that doesn't exist, the imaginary thing, the tinfoil hat time. People don't cheat on games. Yeah, he was scripting. Look, I just typed in cheating game. Look at the videos. Almost every game. Almost every game on the fucking planet is here. Everyone knows what this one is. Everyone knows that one. Remember when people were saying, "Oh, Freezy, you're just bad at COD. People don't cheat. Oh, that's got a new anti-cheat. People would never cheat. You're just bad at games." Oh, look, what did I do? What did I do? I just went and found a cheat. I knew they were cheating. That's not hard to. I knew these people were cheating. These people knew exactly where I was. Like, do you know what I mean? You're chucking flashbangs at them and they're just fucking like they can still see because they were turning the flashbang effects off. Do you know what I mean? So perfect aim, ridiculous, just knew exactly where you were at all times. Rage hack, some of this shit says, I can't remember where it is. It says rage hack, radar, ESP, wall hack, fucking, you name it. Like, you can adjust the player boxes, and what I mean by that is this stuff, look. This was a multiplayer, right? This wasn't even like Warzone. This was just a multiplayer. Look, when I wanted to play the ranked mode on COD, look at this. Look, no chance, mate. You'll never like no game is safe. And that involves ESO as well, right? No game is safe because of views, because views exist now. The second it became something you can make a career by getting views on gaming, and generate money from that, and have people give you sponsors and shit like that. Legitimate gaming was dead. That second, that was dead. Um, yeah, so moving swiftly on. Oh, trigger bots. Look at this. Trigger bots on fucking kids' games. Well, what is this? Is this fucking Minecraft? What is that? Look, 2025. Undetectable, never detected trigger bot on Valorant. If you don't know what a trigger bot is, that's where, sometimes you aim at someone, you got your cursor on their head, you pull the trigger and they move. Well, this thing, if you just put the cursor over someone's head at any point, it automatically shoots your gun, you get the kill. That's what this is. Right? People don't cheat in games, though, do they? Nah, of course not. Here, of course, Tarkov, the vacuum cheat, ridiculous. People just flying in the air on a game where you're not meant to be able to fly. They join the raid, fly in the air, suck every piece of good loot into their body, and then just go and leave the raid. Again, do you know why? Because they were just wanting to extract money from gaming. Same as the people that level accounts, boost accounts on other games, smurf, play other people's accounts for money. They don't give a fuck about games. They don't give a fuck about gaming. Like on this one, they just wanted to sell the items for real money to players on Tarkov. Do you know what I mean? Same as the people that make the cheats. So the same as the people that make these cheats don't give a fuck about gaming. They don't care about anything to do with gaming. All they care about is extracting money from it. That's it. Nothing else. That's all they care about. Um, and there was as well. There was as well. There was this game, right? That was a game I hadn't played before. I can't find a video for it. I actually wanted to put that in as well for people to go check that out. Someone else might know what game it is. That was a game I hadn't played before, and what these people were doing is they were queuing up for a game in ranked, right, on this game. They managed to hold the top 10 spots on this ranked game mode, right, for like years, right? Um, this little group of people, and what they did was they created a private add-on. And with this add-on, um, on this game I'm talking about, you would queue into a match and you wouldn't be able to see the people you were queued against until you got into the match, right? But what these people did, they made a private add-on that would reveal the other team. So they would queue into the match, see the other team, quickly stat check that team, and if they had a good win rate, they would unqueue their team. Right? And then they would wait a bit, let that good team get queued against someone else, and then they would queue again. And then once they got a match, they would quickly stat check them again. And if they had like not very good, stats, then they would go into that game, stomp them, and get the points. And that's how they retained the top of that ranked mode. Thousands of views, probably millions of views, which then of course get generated and turned into money in all different ways, shape, and forms. And that's how they managed to do it just by simply being able to see the other team they were queued against and start checking them. Shit you don't even think would exist. People are doing it. Trust me. Don't ever say tinfoil hat time to me again. Here you go. New games, old games, Fortnite, Siege, um, Black Ops, Marvel Rivals. Something else with this as well is people know that the word cheater generate views. And what they do is, you got, the clickbait warriors, the clickbait warriors that are, they're clearly just trying to make a living from gaming. If you notice, they always do it as well. When they sort of run out of ideas for content, you just see like hundreds of videos. I spectated a hacker. I watched a hacker POV, hacker. And they always seem to have these hackers in their games, because that's probably their mates. You know what I mean? With hacks, and they're just recording it for content. Like, do you know what I mean? But there's something else people are doing. That gets a bit cringy. And the reason why I don't like that is because I think that sort of glorifies cheating. That makes people think, oh, if I buy hacks and I go cheat, they'll put me in their videos. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's why I don't like it. I just hate it. I see a lot of it as advertising cheats as well. Sometimes I think people do it to advertise cheats. Do you know what I mean? But their friend might be someone that makes the cheats, and then they go and say, "Oh, look, I spectated this hacker with these cheats," and that populates that cheat, and everyone wants to buy that cheat. Do you see what I'm saying? But I'm not pointing any fingers there or saying nothing. Like again, I'm not trying to. This isn't like a hate video towards streamers or stuff. Some of the things I'm going to say that might be taken that way, but that's not. And that's not. I didn't make this for views. I don't give a fuck about views. If I cared about views and shit like that, my channel would not look like it does. Again, I'm a student of the game, believe me. I probably wouldn't even post gaming videos, let alone ESO ones. No offense to Elder Scrolls. Um, but I definitely wouldn't, play a game like that. And I would probably, if I wanted to turn this into a job, I probably would not even post gaming video. I'd just post like anime shorts and shit like that. There's a tip for you. I'd probably do that if I just wanted to, get to the YouTube money side of it. I'd probably just spam shit like that. It's easy, millions of views if you do something like that. Um, but yeah, as you can see, like no one cheats on games, right? I want to make clear as well. Everyone's done the cheat back in the day, like on GTA, you know, back in the day, when you were playing solo single player games, anything like that. I didn't see a point. I didn't see a problem with putting cheat games codes in, using macros, whatever you like. I'm just saying in PvP environments when you do this types of shit, um, when you do this type of shit, you're just a scammer, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? You just need to go get good. Um, the latest one, of course, here we are. We have Lupo, the trusted and known, you know, streamer. Uh, he's done stuff for charity. When I saw this, I was like, come on, bro, not Lupo. He went to 100K chess tourney and cheated. He used an engine. He was typing putting where his pieces were on his other screen, and that was telling him where to move to win the match. Is this some evil guy? No, it's just a guy that fucked up. But at the end of the day, um, you know, they do say, don't they? Once a cheater, always a cheater. There was a guy. Um, I can't find it now. I think it was this same guy, this 10 IQ gaming. I think it was this same guy that made a different video, and now this guy's career, remember you have to say career, because people are able to make a full out living from gaming now. This guy's career is now under the microscope. This guy done another video about it saying, was he cheating on Tarkov? Everything this guy has done now is under fire because they say once a cheat, always a cheat. And I mean, I like I say, I like Lupo, and that's by no means slating Lupo off or nothing like that. But I think anyone that does this, that should be treated like someone using like drugs in an Olympic sport. This is a career. When someone does this, anyone, not Lupo, let me just come off that so it doesn't look like I'm slating Lupo. But anyone that does this, I think they should be banned. And when I say banned, I mean banned from gaming completely. You shouldn't be able, no more. You shouldn't be able to make money. You saw what happened to whatever Doctor Disrespect did, Doctor Disrespect, when everyone disowned him and that, all his sponsors let him go. That's what should happen to you when you cheat in gaming. That should be like a fucking red card. That's it, mate. You're done. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's not, and that's why we've brought this up here. That this guy here, in my opinion, people like this are doing the Lord's work. But even I think this gets exploited now for clicks and views because there's like 20, 40, 100 people like this now that do this type of thing. And it seems to me Let's see if you can see a reoccurring theme here, right? We're just going to scroll down this guy's page, right? Let me look at the thumbnails. Let's see if you can see a reoccurring theme happening. You might see my son stuff coming up in that. But if you notice, there is, the same faces keep getting shown. And it seems to me now, like being banned for cheating in gaming has become something that you just do to get clicks and views. When people start to fall out of relevancy, suddenly they get caught for cheating, and when they get caught for cheating, they get banned, and then they're back again the next day, and then they're banned again, and then next month they're caught for cheating again, then they're banned, and then they're back again. Why? Because devs of games seem to just let these people do it. Like I said, in my opinion, if you get caught for cheating, that should be the end of you. There should be no more money income from any Twitch, YouTube, Kick, nothing. That should be the end of your career, and that should be treated that way. If there's someone like a pro player in a tournament or, one of these massive streamers, if they get caught cheating, that should be, boom, that's it. You're cut off. Go find something else to do now. Like, do you know what I mean? And because they're not treated this way, and the reason why they're not is obvious. Devs want eyes on their games, and these people have massive followings. So when they get banned, they just allow them back. They allow these people back every time. And what kind of message does this send out to the communities, the gaming communities? It's okay to cheat. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Nothing will happen to you. Do you see what I'm saying? If people are able to generate millions of pounds from something like this, there should be something in place. Like, you cheat once, you're gone. Do you know what I mean? That should be like solemn law. You get caught cheating once, you sit there smurfing on, playing in ranks you're not meant to be, anything like that. You should be like locked out completely of anything to do with gaming. You should, you know what I mean? You should be, or not, you should be able to play, whatever, but you shouldn't be able to stream and things like that. You should be insta banned completely. Like I say, what happened to the doc? Um, I can't even remember exactly what he did. He did some type of shit, but you know exactly what happened to him. That's how you should be treated when you cheat on games. Fully locked out, all sponsorships lost, and completely gone. Um, and I think he's back now. He's proved some innocence or something for whatever happened. I can't remember. I'm not getting into all that right now. I was just using that as an example about how he was treated. That's how cheaters should be treated. Bye bye. That's it. You're done. But they're not. You get this. You get this stuff. Do you know what I mean? Where they just keep coming back and coming back and coming back. And again, like I said, all this does is just tell the entire gaming community, don't worry about cheating. It's fine. You can just do it and get away with it. And that creates these people. Some people are coming on the scene and they're just cheating off the rip. I remember watching some guy. Have you ever been watching Twitch or something, fell asleep, woke up, and 10 different people have ended their streams and sent you on to someone else, and you're watching someone you didn't even know, and you wake up and you've been gifted subs to different streamers, and you're like, what the fuck? That happened to me, right? And I was watching this guy, um, fully legit player, chilling, playing his game, losing at times, whatever. And these people were in his chat, like fucking hammering this guy, right? He was on some type of FPS game. I can't even remember what it was. And they were hammering this guy, like, why do you even bother streaming? Look how bad you are. You're trash and all this stuff. Right? And do you know why they were saying that to this genuine guy who is legitimately playing his game? Because they are so accustomed to watching people cheat. That's the new normal. Genuine players are seen as trash. Like, that's fucking bad, man. That's so bad. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's horrific, in fact. That a genuine player is seen as trash because people are so accustomed to people having, out of this world game sense. They just seem to know exactly where everyone is all the time. Do you know what I mean? They seem to know this. Their aim is fucking snapping onto people. They've never got any recoil on any of their guns on any game that they play. They just pick up a game and they're the best player at it. There is no game that they're bad at. Like, do you know what I mean? It's just, and like I say, some people, yes, a small percent of the population, are just wired differently, nuts, God, aim, ridiculous, and they are that good. But there are people that just cheat. Some people can't accept that though, and I don't know, they do this tinfoil hat top routine, and it's just laughable. But here we go. This is it. This is the end. And this is going to hurt the streaming community like really badly. This is going to, if anything, this is going to really hurt, viewership as a whole, because now you're going to have to prove that you're not doing this. In my opinion, and I'm pretty much a fucking professional viewer, and you're going to have to prove that you're not doing it. I mean, people are already under question from my perspective and have been for quite a while. There's some people I can't even watch anymore because, like I said, you see that aim snapping. Mouse and keyboard players with 15 times my aim assist with controller on PC with the correct settings in. That's something else. That's something else I want to bring up as well. These devs that keep doing settings on these games. What are these settings on these games? What's it about? Do you know what I mean? They're making games now where you need to go and watch someone. You need to go and give someone a view to be able to play the game. When I played Overwatch 2, I was thinking, fuck me, am I just shit? Like, do you know what I mean? I couldn't work out what the problem. That was because I had to go and fucking find this certain fucking guy on YouTube or Twitch that had the fucking settings for the game so that I could type them in and be able to play the fucking game. I didn't even know that. I was playing Overwatch 2 when I played it, thinking, fucking hell, right? With mouse and keyboard settings on the controller, no aim assist, right? And fucking and when I looked that up, I was like, what the fuck? So that whole period I played, I was meant to go and click on someone and give them a view to be able to play the game. And the same thing happened on COD when I played COD. My mates were like, I can't play COD anymore. I was like, what you mean? They was like, oh well, I went on there, I just can't aim properly and that. I was like, what the fuck? What do you mean? And I went and looked up the settings, turned it on, and I was like, it's fine. And they were like, oh, do I need to do this and that? And I told them what they need to put in the settings, and they were like, what the fuck? I don't watch YouTube or Twitch. Like, you're handicapping half the community when you do this shit. Why is there even, why is there even settings like available for this? Let people change their FOV, their sense, maybe make their paddles or whatever, their triggers a bit more sensitive. That's fine. Anything else is bullshit. We're changing dead zones and all this shit, and that's like making your aim assist stronger. What the fuck are we doing? Like fucking giving people again. That's just more like weird free advantages. That's been like bred through this weird fucking. You have to give this person a fucking view. Like whoever these devs like. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? I just think it's fucking weird. But this here, I've gone way off track there. But this here is how long has this existed? This is my question, right, with this. This is, in my opinion, this is the end of genuine gaming now. This really is it. This is a way to cheat where you can't be detected, right? And there's people with these little guides to tell you exactly how you do it. If you have any issues, they can help you, and which I think is ridiculous that you're allowed to post shit like this. Do you know what I mean? I just think this is fucking stupid. But apparently this is some type of cheat where if you've got two PCs, you can plug this hardware onto your second PC and then on your main PC where you're streaming, that just looks like you're really good. Um, now, this is undetectable because it's not something you download and like software or something like that. So they really can't detect that this is the end. This is it. Genuine gameplay. That's it. It's gone. Look, you can plug it in and cheat on Fortnite undetected in less than 2 minutes. The anti-cheat killer, full setup, KM box and fuser. Like, this is the end. This is the end now for gaming. And like I said, this is going to hurt the streaming community because they're going to have to prove now that they are not and have not been doing this. And like I said, there's people I haven't been able to watch for a while because you know you can see strange things happening. People that aren't the best seem to be, just gods suddenly. So yeah, um, I don't know, you know, what more, much more can you say? This is the end, and all in the names. Don't forget, this is all in the name of views, generating huge money from viewership, being able to make a full out living on games. Um, you know, that has scarred gaming in a way. I don't think that can ever be repaired. This shit. You know, making huge money from views. I'm sorry about my squeaky chair. I can't do nothing about it. But yeah, in my opinion, uh, yeah, this is the end. They need to fucking do something about this, like quick time. But again, you know, before this was made public, how long was this around? Who tested this? Like, questions need to be asked. Like, do you know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know with this one. I think this could be the very end. But you know, I'll leave that for you to decide. I've been Freezy. That's been the cheater shit. In a bit.